What's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast on a Friday morning. Good morning to you. And if you're watching it any other time, thank you very much for tuning in. On this edition, we're going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints and their keys to victory and how can they get the third victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in one season. So just want to say to everybody filing into the chat, thank you all so much. We're going to be answering some of your questions a little bit later. I want to let everyone know that may be a fan of professional wrestling. We did episode number 3 of the TJ Knows Wrestling podcast. That is out for you right now. We focused on Kurt Angle. All right, just want to let you all know TJ Knows Wrestling Facebook.com, search TJ Knows Wrestling. YouTube.com, search TJ Knows Wrestling. Now, let's go ahead and get into this game. Now, we're getting close to put up or shut up time. It's Friday. Game is on Sunday. And everybody is chiming in. Everybody is talking about this game. Everybody's saying that this is the game of the weekend. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. And speaking of Drew Brees, today is Drew Brees' 42nd birthday. So happy birthday to number 9. And, everybody's talking about it. Everybody is saying that, the Saints are behind the 8 ball because they won the game 2 times, which I don't understand. Like, how in the world can you beat a team twice and you're behind the 8 ball the third time? Only when you're facing Tom Brady. And look, I'm not one of those people that are trying to poo-poo Tom Brady and making it seem like Tom Brady is not capable of beating the Saints. You got to be an absolute fool to believe otherwise. But I just believe in this football team. I really am very confident in this football team. I think that this football team has been battle tested. Just call me naive, and I already said this. I'm going down with the ship. I'm going down with the ship, Who Dat Nation. I am going down with the freaking ship because the New Orleans Saints are my squad. The New Orleans Saints have been through a lot over these past couple of years, and I just think people are just looking at that particular moment, those particular moments, and they just automatically assume that history is going to repeat itself. And like I said, just call me naive, but I just feel like the New Orleans Saints are better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you're not winning games because of who a guy is. I'm going to say that again. You're not going to win games because who a guy is. You're going to win a football game if you execute better. And I just feel like people are poo-pooing and dismissing the execution of the New Orleans Saints. I think people are just trying to downplay that because they're not blowing teams out by 3 and 4 touchdowns. And that is not a recipe for success. The Saints, the Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 11 the first time. And then they beat them by 35 the second time. And the last time I checked, both equaled one victory. One victory. That's what it did. One victory. Rather you beat a team 28-27, rather you beat a team 29-28, it all equates to one victory. The Saints just have to be 1 point better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And my key to victory is very, very simple. As long as the Saints do not beat themselves, they are not going to lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It starts with turnovers. A lot of the plays inside of the game versus Chicago Bears, the Saints cannot do. They cannot do. Drew Brees cannot be late throwing the football. Guys cannot be dropping passes. Guys cannot be missing assignments. These guys have to play flawless in this football game if they are going to win this football game. I'm not concerned about all of the weapons that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have because as far as I'm concerned, the Saints have just as many weapons as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The only difference is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have weapons that everybody around the country and around the National Football League recognize. That's all there is to it. That's the only difference, man. It's like, I'll put it like this. You look at Dr. Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say this today because it is Martin Luther King's birthday, okay? We've been celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday. You look at Dr. Martin Luther King, right? Dr. Martin Luther King and Ralph Abernathy. Ralph Abernathy, some people probably heard of. If you're from Atlanta, you definitely heard of Reverend. If you're a historian, then you recognize Ralph Abernathy. But when I mention Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., everybody knows who he is. That's the only difference. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say this. You have people like Marquez Callaway who is capable. You have people like Traquan Smith is capable. You have people like Emmanuel Sanders are capable. You have people like Michael Thomas are capable. And now you look at on the other side, they just have household names that every single person recognizes. And that is what everybody is hanging their hat on. I don't care about names. It's about what have you done for me lately? What can you do in this football game? What can you do? That's all I got to say. What can you do at that particular moment? I think the New Orleans Saints are capable of beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I've seen it done twice. I've seen it done twice, and it wasn't even close. It's not to a point where it's by a field goal and you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, y'all got lucky. No, the Saints dominated the football game. And I'm saying that they can do it again. But the Saints can't go into this game with their nose in the air, acting like they don't care, and acting like this team they can't get beat. And I feel like that is the trap that they fell into going into a game versus the Minnesota Vikings last season. They went into the game a 13-3 number 3 seed, something that's rarely ever done, and they stuck their nose in the air and said, well, this team is not better than us. We don't need to be here. We don't deserve to be playing on wild card weekend. This is a travesty. If they go into the game like that, they are going to lose. But I just feel like all the things that you have been through, all of the disappointments that have come your way, you have to be dialed in and focused. Because that would be a shame. It would be a shame that you lose this game because you weren't focused. You have to win this football game. You have to win this football game. And they can indeed win this football game. I believe in them. I believe in the Saints. I'm going to go down with the ship. Chemo, thank you very much for the $14.99. TJ, did you hear the clip from Kay Adams and how she became a fan? Love this team. Yeah, Chemo. I checked it out right before I went live. I checked out Kay Adams on Good Morning Football. She talked about her story about the New Orleans Saints and how she fell in love with the team. She says she fell in love with the team when they played the Detroit Lions and they beat up on the Detroit Lions and she was just talking about how much they were having fun and how much the fans love them and just this overall team. She said she fell in love with them. And this is one of those love affairs that has been going on for a long time. I mean, it's been going on for 20 plus years if you're me. But we love our team. And I just don't understand how people can just think that we just are going to go away. Like, that's fake fans that do stuff like that. Fake fans do that, right? Fake fans are those fans that only grandstand when their team is at the front. Those are the fans that infiltrate different groups when their team is winning and they say, where your team at? I have an appreciation for everybody that goes down with the ship. I have an appreciation for those that when their team is not having a good season, they still repping their team hard. I have an appreciation for those people that are not trying to hide their fandom, even though their team may be picking in the top 5 in the NFL draft. Those are the people that I respect. The people that I don't respect are the people that grandstand and pretend as if we don't see you when your team is down, not repping for your team. What I don't have respect for is for people that saying, oh, I'm a Tom Brady fan. I was never a New England Patriot fan. The people that I have no respect for are the people that saying they Tampa Bay fans. They've been living in Tampa, haven't been repping for Tampa, but now that they're winning, all of a sudden, I've been a Tampa Bay fan. I've been living here my whole life. You get absolutely no respect from TJ Jones. You get absolutely no respect from anybody in the Who Dat Nation. Look, you go down with the ship. And that's all there is to it. I don't care how many heartbreaking playoff losses the Saints have. You know what I'm going to do? every single year. I'm going to get behind this mic. I'm still going to be repping who that, and I'm still going to be looking forward to a better day. And there's not a person out there or a prognosticator or a sentence or a statement that can stop me from believing in my squad. I'm still going to be saying Saints go all the way. I'm still going to be singing cha-ching. I'm still going to be saying who that, because this is my squad. And that's the way that you should feel about any team that you represent, even if you're looking at the State of the Saints podcast and you're not a fan of the Saints. I don't expect a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan to walk up in here hat in hand and say y'all gonna beat me. I don't expect that. I expect for them to believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the New Orleans Saints on Sunday, because I believe that the Saints are going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. Plain and simple. Who that TJ and my Who That family? You see the Falcons are looking at one of the executive for the GM position. Yeah, Terry Fontenot. They're looking at Terry Fontenot. Terry Fontenot has been with the Saints, I think, about 10 plus years. And he's also the mastermind behind the Ryan Ramczyks, the Marshawn Lattimores, the Alvin Kamaras, the Marcus Williams, the Michael Thomases. He's the mastermind behind that, for those that don't know. So for those that may not know who Terry Fontenot is, I guarantee you're going to know exactly who he is if he leaves the New Orleans Saints, because that guy is one of the main reasons why we have been legitimate and credible over the last 4 years, that he has been heavily involved along with him and Jeff Ireland. And both of those guys have been getting interviewed for jobs. So if any of those guys end up leaving the New Orleans Saints, there's going to be a huge hole in the stock of some of these draft picks that we're going to have. We're going to have a huge hole in some of the in the evaluation process. And it's going to take a special guy to come in and replace those guys, because they have done an outstanding job finding guys, those diamonds in the rough, those guys that are people like Deontay Harris, people like Marquez Callaway, guys like that. You know, even people like Trey Hendrickson. Those are the guys. Man, listen, I ain't doing no more talking. I'm telling everybody, just pull up. We in the trenches. Look, I mean, the time for talk is pretty much over. I said my speech. I said my speech on last week about what I felt about Tampa, and I just stand by what I said. You ain't winning no games with talking. You ain't winning no games with no chirping. You win the games by lining in the middle of those lines, 100 yards, may the best man win. I mean, nobody's sitting around here shaking in their boots because number 12 Tom Brady hitting the field. Ain't nobody shaking in their boots because number 9 Drew Brees is hitting the field. It's about who can execute better and who has a better game plan. Fully loaded like a potato. Elite Goods, that's a good one right there. Giving a shout out to Misha. Ray says, I feel like it's going to be like a week 1 score. I don't care what it is, as long as at the end of the day, the New Orleans Saints have a better score than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Long as the Saints win, I can care less. Ray also said, did the show pause for a second? Yeah, it did. I mistakenly hit the wrong button. It wasn't you, it was me. I apologize for that. But yeah, man, I'm just ready for this game to take place. TJ, I think CJ Gardner is going to get a B put out of the game. He is going to get in his head. I don't know now. I don't think Antonio Brown is going to get put out the game. I think that the way that he's wired, he's not that type of guy. You know, he don't seem like that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he seemed like he understands that people be trying to talk and try to get in his head. So I wouldn't expect for him to get tossed out of the game. There's a new Netflix series starts at the end of the month called The Brooklyn Saints. Need to check it out. All right, I have to check that out. Stephen A. Talking, you know what? Man, who cares, man? Like, seriously. You know, the only reason why they not picking the Saints right now is because, you know, the only reason they're not picking the Saints because how the playoffs has wound up the last 3 years. And those guys aren't really going off what seems like it should be a foregone conclusion they go off things to try to give themselves, number one, a little bit of some shock value, right? Oh, I'm going to pick this team because people are going to be like, what? And then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, they're going to be tweeting me, or, you know, I want to sound right, so I'm going to go with this team because the Saints always let people down. Whatever, man. Look, I don't care if they rep for the Saints at this point. Them repping for the Saints it means nothing. I'm from Los Angeles, but my mom went to New Orleans and got me a Breed jersey when I was 5, and I love the Saints since then. Miles, I appreciate that. Shouts out to Miles all the way in Los Angeles. Appreciate you stopping by, checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Miles says, agreed. Ray said they coming out the grave now. Man, they coming out of everywhere. And like I said, I don't have any respect for anybody that only grandstands and only just rep for teams when they win. Kevin says, I know one real Tampa Bay fan, and he from New Orleans. Yeah, I know a couple of them. You know, been repping going hard for Tampa in the bad times. You know, shouts out to my guy Carnell. You know, he from New Orleans, went to high school with him, went to Carver High School with him. You know, shouts out to my boy DJ Hopkins, who was originally from New Jersey, but repping for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, you know, I know a few of them, but a lot of them very unfamiliar. Rudy says that sounds like the entire Atlanta fan base. They quick to jump ship. Yeah, and they quick to jump on ship too. They really are, you know. They really are. Folks are expecting the Saints to do what they have always done. Beyond time to prove the entire world wrong. I'm going down with the ship just like I've always done. Been a fan for too long. Tyra, absolutely. You know, see, that's the thing right there. You know, here's the thing. The media wants excitement. The media wants people to be wild and out of their seats. That's the reason why they try to elevate people like Josh Allen, who has a big arm, Patrick Mahomes, who has a big arm, Aaron Rodgers, who has a big arm, great arm talent. They elevate those guys. And because those guys can put up 35, 40 points in a game, they feel like that is what football is all about. That's what today's NFL is about. 3 yards in a cloud of dust is dead. And if anybody that's still trying to follow that blueprint, oh, it's not exciting, so I'm not going to really talk about them. All I can say is it's a doggone shame for you not to have an appreciation for a team that will do or scheme or organize themselves any way they have to in order to win. That is the recipe for a team, because a team that puts up 40 points, if they go up against a defense that can actually make some stops, well, what are they going to do now? What are they going to do when the quarterback is in a pocket and the pressure is coming up in his face and he's not able to throw the ball down the field a million gazillion times? Well, where's your running game? Where's your running game? How you going to stop? How are you going to stop them from trying to get pressure on you? You ain't got no running game. You ain't committed to the run. But that's what they want. They want the wild factor. They want to be wild. That's the reason why, no disrespect to him, he deserves the attention that he's getting. That's the reason why people like Lamar Jackson, people love him so much. You know, oh, he just juked somebody out of his shoes. He's a quarterback. But he's as elusive as a running back. Patrick Mahomes throwing 60-yard bombs off his back foot. That's exciting. But when you look at somebody like Drew Brees, he's just efficient. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drew Brees is the guy who shows up to work in a Prius. Patrick Mahomes is the guy who shows up to work in a Mercedes-Benz. But guess what? They both showed up to work. Drew Brees is the type of guy who you really don't even really know he's there, but you can tell that he was there by the work that he does. And Patrick Mahomes is the guy that is around there, you know, loud and talking to everybody and making everybody laugh, and that's who he is. It may not be the most exciting thing, but it serves a purpose, right? I don't care. I always say, if a Prius is going to Atlanta from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and a Ferrari is going to Atlanta from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, it's about 5.5 hours, you know, by car. Guess what? The Ferrari might get there a little faster than the Prius, but guess what? The Prius still got there. The Prius still got to his destination. We need to have an appreciation for greatness, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't know how many times we're going to see it. This may be, which I hope, this may be the last time we actually see greatness right in front of us. Because any quarterback that the Saints get, it's not going to be Drew Brees. So we need to have an appreciation for that. Dwight says, TJ, I think CJ Garner-Johnson, already read that one. You better say that. Roy said, TJ and his feelings, definitely not in my feelings. Definitely not in my feelings. You'll know if I'm in my feelings. You'll definitely know, Royce. Kevin, what kind of sense that make? We got Justin says, let's go. Chemo says, we will ball out Sunday. You got me pumped, TJ. Oh, man. You know, I was thinking about making another, speech. You know, I think that's like one of the first things I did. It was probably a couple of years ago. I think the Saints was in the divisional round of the playoffs, and they were playing the Eagles, and I did like this. Man, I did like this locker room speech. You know, I was thinking about doing something like that. I might upload something like that. You know, a little locker room speech for everybody, get everybody hype. Hopefully, you know, I might do something like that. But I'm just excited, man. I'm just excited. This is what it's all about. Brady coming home to his daddy, giving a shout out to Jared Poor, Pammy. Elise says, we been here. Ryan says, TJ, you got me hyped right now, and I'm at work. I'm serious, man. How can you not be hyped? How can you not be hyped, man? Because this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, man. It's about the best. I know people are afraid and they saying, oh, man, you can't beat a team 3 times. Oh, I'm so nervous. You know, Tom Brady, playoff Tom Brady. Look, I'm not concerned about that because I believe in the squad. Like, think about all of the things that have transpired over the last 3 years as a Saints fan. Think about having your heart ripped out time after time after time. Think about those moments, man, and how you felt. Think about where you were when those things happened. And think about where this team is now. You know, think about what this team has done to try to construct themselves to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes. So, I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm excited about this game, and I think you should be too. Blue Apple, thank you very much for the $10 donation. Say, hey, TJ, the only thing that annoys me is when the Saints score a touchdown in the first quarter and don't score again until the third quarter. Slow starts is a no-no. Thank you very much for the $10, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Those are the type of things that will get you beat. You know, they're going to get you beat. You have to make sure that you start fast. And I think that's something that the Saints have struggled with over the last, well, at least this season. You know, they haven't been starting fast. And I just hope that, you know, they'll be able to get on the board and have some efficient drives. Keep that clock going, even if it ends in a field goal. A made field goal. Nick, thank you very much for $1.99. Says Sean will come out, will outcoach BA. And that's the reason what doesn't make me nervous, Nick. That's the reason why I'm not so nervous. That's the reason why, because I trust Sean Payton more than I trust Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians, I like him. I like his passion. I like how real he is, but he is not a better coach than Sean Payton. And in situational football, you need that coach that can get your players where they need to be. You need that coach that is going to dial up the right plays, going to say the right things, and do the right things in order for your team to be victorious. I trust Sean Payton more so than I trust Bruce Arians, and I feel like that is the reason why the Saints have an edge. Chosen, thank you very much for the $4.99. Says, funny the Bucs is what made you start this podcast, and now here we are playing them in the playoffs, and the podcast is booming. Came a long way. Who that? Yeah, that's true, Chosen. That is the main reason why I started this podcast. Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback. Saints ended up losing that game week 1, and I was very upset. And now here we are right now, the Saints taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, not Ryan Fitzpatrick, is the quarterback. I'm excited. Only thing that will excite me more is a win. TJ here goes us to strength Tampa. I'm hyped, and I'm 100% better today and ready for the stand game on Sunday. Well, the Saints game, I'm pretty sure you're saying, Ramsey. But yeah, thank you so much, my friend. I'm glad that you're doing a lot better. Shouts out to Ramsey, chiming in. Good to know that you're, 100%. Hopefully the Saints, just like you, Ramsey, are 100% this weekend. Hopefully they have all hands on deck to try to make this run. It's all good. Really don't feel bad. We was cheated, not defeated. Well, I ain't gonna lie to you, even though we was cheated, it still didn't feel good, especially when you know that the Saints would have put up a better effort than the Rams. I mean, I never watched that Super Bowl, ever. That's like the one Super Bowl in my lifetime that I can remember that I never watched and don't have an interest in watching it at all, because everybody know what the business is. Bruce Arians needs blood pressure medication. He scares me on that sidelines, thinking he'll have a heart attack. He can yell with the best of them, man. He can get angry. Hunter says we haven't started out as fast because we've had a different lineup pretty much all season. Now we have all of our starters ready this week. I'm going to be honest with you. You know how I would start this game? I start this game with a big play. I'm serious. Like, I wouldn't even care. Like, let the chip fall where they may, right? I would start this game with a deep pass. I'm serious. I would start this game with a deep pass because nobody would expect it. Nobody would expect the New Orleans Saints to come out and Drew Brees throw the ball deep. That's how I would start this game. I would set up that play similar to the play that they had versus the Kansas City Chiefs, when you had Emmanuel Sanders streaking down the sidelines. I would start the game off with that. Because one thing about the New Orleans Saints, and I think defenses love, is the fact that Drew Brees don't throw the ball down the field. And he basically just plays the sticks. So I would catch them completely off guard. I would go out there and I would toss that mug down the field. That's what I would do. But that's just me, okay? I would definitely set the tone doing something like that. Chosen, thank you very much for $1.99. Says, TJ, do you think the Saints will rehire Mike Nolan? Yes, the linebackers coach. I would. I do. I think they would. I don't think he should have left in the first place. I think he a good positions coach. He's not a good coordinator. I'm excited too, TJ. We need to have each other. We need to have each side of the ball on point. Even Sean Payton play calling. Yeah. Can't be sidestepping, man. And, the thing about it is you don't know what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to do. I would expect for them to run the football a little bit more. I mean, Leonard Fournette had 96 yards rushing, and you don't want to get him going, man. I mean, Leonard Fournette, to me is a very lazy football player. I'm just calling it how I see it. He's lazy. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that upsets you. He's the guy that has all the talent in the world and doesn't utilize it. But when he does utilize it, I mean, it pays dividends. And if you can neutralize him and neutralize Ronald Jones, who is dealing with a hamstring, but I think they just trying to play that. I mean, he definitely going to play. If you can neutralize those guys, you should be fine. But if the Saints allow them to be successful running the football, it's going to be a recipe for disaster, okay? One of the things that made the Saints successful in the last few games is because Bruce Arians' inability to run the football. Does that sound familiar? Wanting to throw the football all over the place with Tom Brady. Sound familiar? So I would expect for them to run the football much more than they normally would do. I think they're going to run the football, so the Saints front four has got to be ready. They got to be ready. Ramsey says, TJ, you're not missing much. It was a boring game. My friend from Sean, who come down every year, we watch it, and he may just end like that Super Bowl. Well, I tell you what, I don't have an interest in watching it, don't want to watch it, and probably never will. 6 Super Bowl teams Let me see. 6 Super Bowl teams have triple swept teams. Like I said, 67% of the time two divisional opponents play. 67% of the time, a team sweeps their opponent. 67% of the time. So for those that are saying it's hard to beat a team 3 times, statistics don't show that. But they will never say that. They will never say that because they're trying to sell tickets here, folks. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. Not tickets to the game, but by when I say sell tickets, I mean they trying to, create narrative. Man, it's about how you execute and how you play. That's what it's about. It has absolutely nothing to do with you beat us twice, 3 times. You can't do that. I didn't watch the Super Bowl either. I went sofa shopping the whole day with my wife. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what I did. I couldn't tell you what I did. But I didn't watch that game. What's all the equipment Bruce got on? I guess it's a face shield. He got a face mask on. He got goggles on. But I mean, Bruce Arians almost 70 years old, so he's trying to protect himself. Dealing with COVID, older people are more susceptible to catching it. So I guess he got to take care of himself. I'm here at work talking cash money. Let's get it. I'm sick of people saying Brady in the playoffs is a different animal. I mean, did they see his last Patriot game? Good point. Bucks Brazy. Go pick a daisy for Brady. This game is going to come down to one matchup, the Saints D versus the Bucks O-line, which I feel like the Saints can get the better of. Now, I feel like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line is going to play much better. I think they're going to keep time steady in the pocket. I think you're probably going to see one of their best offensive blocking performances. So the Saints going to have to find ways to get it. Now that everybody knows that the offensive line has been getting beat last 2 times versus the Saints, they're going to put a lot more emphasis on that. This game is definitely a clash of the Titans. Yep. Let the best team win. Did Murray practice today? I didn't get the report just yet. I know he didn't practice on yesterday. So he's dealing with a leg injury, man. So hopefully he can be able to play, which I ain't gonna lie to you, if you don't practice today, might be a little bit concerning. Might not have to go. Might be Alvin Kamara and Ty Montgomery back there. Brady throws Brady throws those passes low. The defense should get some interceptions. And that's the thing, man. The defense be around the football. They be around the football, get the ball in their hands, they just drop it. Like, they make the right reads. They jump in front of plays. They just don't come up with the interceptions. And you need to in these type of games. I cannot stress that enough. When that ball is in your vicinity, you got a ability to make a play. Make the play. Make the play. Like that. So many drives extend because the Saints drop a pass. Or they have an opportunity for a fumble and they don't get it. Like, that's crucial. That extra possession, rather you get the ball when they trying to score and you can, help reverse field, and punt again. Even if you don't get any points off that turnover, you still have taken a possession away from that team. And that's a plus. So, if you get your hand on the football, you got to come down with it. AK Michael Thomas Drew gonna ball out. Who that Saints Nation? Yeah, I think so. I think Michael Thomas is going to get back into his groove. I understand about Carlton Davis or whatever, and he's a good cornerback and all that, but realistically, man, I can't see him shutting down Michael Thomas. He did a good job in that first game, but in that second game, I think Michael Thomas got the best of him, and now Carlton Davis is dealing with some injuries too. So who knows? That might affect him in this game. We have to watch Sue. He will trade a 15-yarder to put all his body weight on Drew or any other dirty player. Well, I mean, he's gotten better over the years. I haven't heard anything from him, but at one time he was known as one of the dirtiest players in the NFL, and he was voted the dirtiest player by his peers. TJ, remember the Saints beat Carolina 3 times in 2017. It will happen again Sunday. Yeah, but that game was closer than, it was like 21-14 or something like that. The Saints won, if I'm not mistaken. So Hendrickson and Cam going to have a day, especially with a rookie at right guard versus Cam playing his first NFL game. Well, Tristan Wirfs, this is his second playoff game, and he did a good job last time against Cam Jordan. So I ain't going to lie about that. And look, I don't people oh man, they got this backup offensive line. They got this, that, and the third. Like, I've seen the New Orleans Saints get manhandled and pushed around and straight up punked this season when you had the Las Vegas Raiders who were playing with backup offensive linemen. You had the Philadelphia Eagles who had like 12 different combinations of offensive line, and they still couldn't get to Jalen Hurts. So just because a guy, he young, he's not a starter, that don't mean nothing. The Saints can still get punked around at the defensive line. They did a good job last week versus the Bears, but you got to bring it every week. You can't look at the injury report and be like, I'm going to have me a good game. You got to bring it every single week. Got to bring it. I wonder if Ty Montgomery will see some work with Murray being banged up. I'm leaning on yes for that. Yeah, I think you would. I think Ty Montgomery did a good job, and he showed that you can trust him. You can trust him to carry the football, in the game. I mean, he rushed for 18 carries, 108 yards, or 17 carries, 108 yards in that game versus the Carolina Panthers. Now, you can say that Carolina Panthers were ready to hit the slopes of Aspen or, head to Cancun, but still, that's pretty impressive, man. A guy who was mostly in a wide receiver room throughout the season comes in, plays running back, and rushes for 100 yards. So that's pretty impressive. Yeah, no doubt about that. If Murray can't play, I'm not worried because we have Ty Montgomery. That dude is a beast. Yeah, Ty Montgomery, a very smart player. Catch the ball out of the backfield. Sees the field really, really well. So, yeah. But I do like Latavius Murray a lot. You need to be a coach. You know football very well. Eddie, I appreciate that, but who knows, man? Maybe one day if Paxton end up having interest in football, you might see your boy out there calling some X's and some O's, Brian says, I thought Ty Montgomery got hurt again. Yeah, he did. I think he and Patrick Robinson got hurt, which I don't know if either one of those guys going to play this Sunday, but we'll find out. Usually, we'll find out if a guy's going to play on Sunday or not today. So, stay tuned. I am chilling with the Saints. Let me see. Tam beating Packers is what I really root for. If the Rams beat the Packers and the Saints, if they do their job against the Bucs, then the NFC Championship game will be in New Orleans, and it would be back to the scene of the crime. Chris Godwin been dropping a whole lot of passes too. Yeah, that's because he has a broken hand. One of his fingers are broken, and he has both of his hands tied together. I think both of his hands, they got tape around him, so it's probably the reason why he dropping passes, because they got him taped together. We won in 17 against the Panthers in the wild card round, 31-26. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I thought it was a little bit closer than that. What are your thoughts on Will Lutz? Look, I think he needs to make the field goals. It's as simple as that, look, we don't have no time to be around this thing. People having demons that they need to exercise. This guy needs to go out there and he needs to make those field goals, because the field goal that he missed might end up causing the Saints to go home. And look, I like Will Lutz, but if he comes on the field and he has the opportunity to send the Saints to the NFC Championship game and he missed that field goal, I don't care what he does in his for the rest of his Saints career. It would have to take him kicking the Saints into the Super Bowl for me to forgive something like that. Seriously, man. Like when a game on the line, chips on the table, and you is accurate. It's not like he's not good. You know, he's a really good kicker. So it will take me some time to forgive that, but I like him. I think Ruiz played solid against Hicks. Yeah, I mean Hicks is a great interior lineman. So anybody around here, man, he got whooped. Like many guards get whooped by Keem Hicks. So. My bad, Hunter. I didn't see you said that. ATJ, when you going to start taking calls? Probably gonna be on Sunday. Probably be on Sunday before the game. Depends on like if I'm gonna do a post game show. Depends on what time the game ends. Y'all know I work on at night, so depends on when the Saints end. If we're gonna have a post game show, but if not, we definitely gonna have a post game show on that Monday. I should be fine. You know, I ain't got nothing going on that Monday. So Tyra says, if we play the Rams again this time, we will win. It will not be any 9 calls this time. The game will be a straight up W or a straight L, period. I hope so. You know, I hope so. I hope there ain't no half-stepping going on. I hope no half-stepping going on. Kim says, Sean needs to pull Will in the room and remind him how solid he is. Remember him, that we still believe in him. Yeah, we believe in him. I definitely do. But man, you like this the playoffs. This is the playoffs. Like every missed kick that you do is amplified. Like think about the game versus the Vikings last year. We missed that field goal in the second quarter. Like that was huge. That came back to haunt the Saints. You got to make them field goals, man. You got to. And all the reason that we really not really addressing him the way that we should is because the Saints end up winning that game, and it was a very comfortable win. But if this dude was like out here missing field goals, like in the game was like close and it came down to the Saints making a stop and it was up by 3, we'll be ticked off as a fan base. We'll be angry. Actually, I don't see Montgomery on the injury list. Yeah, he not injured. He's pretty healthy. I'm gonna pull up on him. Hicks looked like you needed some oxygen. Yeah, Hicks was I seen a video. He was mic'd up for the game, and he knocked Drew Brees on the ground, and Drew was like, "Little extra." He was like, "Man, don't talk to me." He's like, "I don't want to hear from you." Told Drew he didn't want to hear from him. Like that was funny though, but but at the end of the day, this guy's intense, and you can tell he don't like the Saints at all. Same thing they did the last 2 times. We whooped they you know what. Marcus says, morning to my fellas, Saints family. Okay, what's going on with you? Ghostface says, we all know Lutz is a great kicker. He just needs to get out of his funk, a.k.a. turkey toe. Look, he needs to do something, because I'm telling you, man. If he missed that field goal and this for the Saints to actually move on and he missed, whoo. My big brother EJ says 27-21. I troll Samer Ali, and he now knows that L's come in all shapes and sizes. Man, look, that's the guy who, if you've been following me or you follow on Facebook, he put the little flyer up talking about, F the Saints or whatever like that, and he wanted people to take phone calls. So I ended up snapshotting a picture, and people from the New Orleans Saints fan base were calling him, and he got upset about it. He's a guy, he has his YouTube channel and stuff like that, and he does a really good job. He's entertaining and stuff like that. But I just think it's a fine line between just being mad, disrespectful, and being entertaining. And some people, they just take that stuff way too far. And I get it, man. You trying to make it. You trying to be a voice. You trying to be a presence. You trying to be a star. But at the same time, I would take no disrespect, man. You know what I'm saying? I seen, he was like saying some, some inflammatory remarks, towards, man, just people and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. I'm just not I just can't get down with that. And I like I said, I get it. You trying to be entertaining and you trying to make it, but I don't know, man. If you're good at what you do, people ain't gonna have no choice but to respect what you doing. You know, man, that's what, I don't try to be like nobody else but me. I see, some videos, and people yelling and screaming and doing all kind of stupid, silly things, because they trying to give people attention. But look, I don't care how you present it. If you speaking real and you speaking stuff that people can feel, they gonna stay a little bit longer. But I don't know, man. It's just some of the stuff he does, man. It just be like super mad, disrespectful, and I can't get down with that. He's like DM me and talked about I'm just joking. I'm like, nah, bro. I don't play like that, man. I don't play like that. Like one time, like I think I responded to him because him and my brother were like going at it, and he cursed at me, man. I'm like, bro. And then he DM me. It's like he was just joking. Like I don't joke like that, man. I don't joke like that. We don't do that in the streets, man. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you would never say this stuff to me in my face. Ever. If you're not gonna say it to me in my face, then I would advise you not to say it like across social media platforms. I can't roll like that. TJ looks like Lecrae. Man, shouts out to Lecrae, man. Make some really good music. Hunter says Cesar Ruiz needs to step up. Big Wick says NFL wants to see either Rodgers versus Breeze or Brady. If the Rams beat the Packers, it will be a disaster to get golf in the NFC Championship game. Well, their team good enough defensively. Lavelle says, I don't want to see Sean taking long field goals on 4th and 1 anymore. That was a confidence thing for Will. It was early in the game, 50-yard field goal. It was just for Sean to show Will that he still has confidence in him. Ghostface giving a shout out to my brother EJ. Marcus says, tell me why a Buccaneer fan got me in Facebook jail. I can't post. Well, like I said, man, I was like that because like I just feel like this. Going back and forth and all that kind of stuff, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Like if you talk about all that, the Saints, they choke, okay. And I say like Tampa, they finally made the playoff. But when you start like talking about me personally, saying you stupid or like that's what it's time for me to log out or me to block you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of energy I don't need. I ain't trying to roll like that. And I feel like that's the type of stuff that'll get you out of your position. That's the kind of stuff that get you out of your position. And I don't have time for that. I ain't got no time for that. Feel good about Sunday, bro. Every day leading up to game day feels more confident about it. Who that? Yeah, Deuce, I mean, that's a good way of looking at it. Tragic says he does. I guess you're talking about the Lecrae comment. I guess. I don't know, man. I guess everybody say somebody look like somebody. I've heard people tell me, at one time, like when I had dreads, people say I look like Roddy White. I mean, it was like serious. Like people really like seriously thought I was this guy. I remember I went into 24-hour fitness. This was during the time I stayed in Dallas. And I walked into like the basketball court area and you had a whole bunch of guys standing on the sideline. This guy literally walked over like across the court and like looked at me and was like, oh man, I'm sorry, man. I thought you were Roddy White. And then like when I got down here, I had a haircut. I walked into Planet Fitness. And this white guy walked up to me and said, hey, man, I thought you was Thomas Davis, talking about the linebacker for Carolina Panthers. I'm like, man, like, they say I look like, there's so many people that said I look like, but Roddy White was probably the one that everybody thought I used to look like. When I had dreadlocks, people definitely thought I was Roddy White, I mean, it was serious. Like, people, like, literally would, come up to me and one, like, it was like one kid, like, even walked up to me and with his dad was like, he was like, Dad, it's Roddy White. Like, no, I'm not Roddy White. It was crazy, but I don't know. TJ, you gave me good advice, but thanks for this broadcast. I enjoy it. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody spending your Friday with me. I'm sorry, but Bucs fans bragging about playoff Brady and how many rings their quarterback have with a different franchise is weird as hell to me. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Well, the whole playoff Brady thing I can understand, right? The whole playoff Brady because you have confidence. Oh, he in the playoffs. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, now he's playing for our team. He turns it up a notch. So now he's going to bring that same type of enthusiasm and that type of presence to the modern day Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, right? I get it. But when you start talking about, oh, he got 6 Super Bowls, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's to me like somebody bragging about a guy and talking about how good he is, but you only heard from somebody that told you how good he is. You know what I'm saying? You don't know from personal experience or anything like that. Oh, he good. He nice. You know what I'm saying? He's a sweet guy. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Like but you like, so you know him? No, I don't know him. Somebody told me that. You know, I mean, you bragging on somebody else's accomplishment from another organization, like that's whack, you know? You know, I mean, what has he done for your organization? I mean, I guess he gave y'all, you know, legitimacy. I mean, he got y'all, you know, being talked about every single week. Drew Brees needs a win for his birthday present. Yeah, when he's the one that can get it done. How the Vikings beat us last year is how we're going to beat the Bucs. Interior pressure on the quarterback. That wouldn't be a bad idea if you put somebody like Marcus Davenport in the center or Cam Jordan, flip him, put Carl Granderson on the outside alongside Trey Hendrickson, something like that. TJ looked like an assistant choir director that just left the barbershop. Mario. Hey, man, look, gotta go to the barbershop, man, and, you know, your boy can't see. You know, I need glasses, you know, so normally, I'm supposed to wear glasses. You know, most of the time, if you don't see me with them on, it's because I probably took them off to do a podcast, or that, you know, they probably, you know, where I'm sitting at or something like that may have a weird glare. But I mean, I'm at the station today, so I had to do some reading, and I got like all the stuff like on this computer that I look at that I have to read when I do my show. So yeah, I have my glasses on. Big ups to DeMario. Dude's daughter has an eye removed because of cancer, and he still plays at the level he does while being a candidate for Man of the Year. And inevitable, I think he's going to win. You know, speaking of inevitable, I think it's inevitable that he's going to win the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. You know, I think that he deserves it. I think that nobody is doing more in the community than he does. I don't think anybody has really put themselves out there as being that beacon of light for his community as well as the country as a whole than DeMario Davis. And not to mention, he brings it every single week on the field. So he's a second team All-Pro. He's an All-Pro once again, if you want to look at it. I don't feel like, you know, first team, second team All-Pro. All-Pro is an All-Pro, straight up. Drew says, Saints win the turnover margin, they will win. Coaching staff will make the difference in this game. Yeah, I agree with that. Tom Brady get the revenge. That's coming from my cousin who jumped ship every single year with a team. As y'all can see, he got a logo of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers logo up there. Last year, he was a New England Patriot fan. The year before that, he was repping for the Cowboys. A year before that, he was repping for the 49ers. And yet he comes and he puts pictures up and he shares them to me and talks about how the Saints are going to lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love you, cuz, but you are the most fair-weather fan I've ever seen in my entire life. You are the true definition of a bandwagon hopper. You are the true definition of a grandstander. And the crazy thing about it is you don't understand how crazy that looks, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think people can go back into the archives and see that you repping for a different team? Like, I literally got a picture of you with some New England Patriots socks on. I literally got a picture of you with another team, a 49ers shirt on. Like, come on, man, what is we doing? Like, I love you. You know, you know that. But the fact that you are in a Saints group talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as if you were a fan this whole entire time, I have to say I'm very disappointed in you right now, man. I love you, but it's disappointing to see, man. And if the Saints get lucky and knock off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend, you know what he gonna do? He gonna erase all the Tampa Bay stuff, and then he gonna put a picture of Aaron Rodgers up here. And then if the Saints beat Aaron Rodgers, then he's going to take that, and then he's going to put a Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs profile up. It's just there's no stopping to the troll that he is becoming. There's no stopping to the grandstanding that he's doing. I don't even like you gotta stop. You gotta stop grandstanding, man. That pause TJ does at the intro. I'll be adding suspense and intrigue to the show. Thank you very much for the $2. Yeah, man. I honestly don't know when I started to do that, and I don't even know why. I really don't know why. I couldn't tell you why I did it. But it's taking on a life of its own now. When now it's like people expect for me to do it during the intro. So, and that's how people even address me when they come on the show. So. I like it though. Gives people something to look forward to. Man, a lot of them dudes don't know football. Well, I love him, so I'm gonna let him pass. All I'm gonna say is he be grandstanding. Get Bucks fans out of this podcast. Bomb, but that's the thing. He not a fan of the Bucks. Like he not a fan of the Bucks. Like he just be grandstanding. Any team that's hot, he jump on board. You know what I'm saying? Like he that guy, be on the movies, when a train just running, you know what I'm saying? You trying to get away and you be like, you know what I'm saying? You see the guy like running on the side, you know what I'm saying, coming up out the woods or whatever like that, trying to hop on that train. That's him. You know what I'm saying? He that guy that's trying to run as fast as he can to try to hop on a board. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy that's trying to hop aboard Thomas the Tank Engine. You know what I'm saying? Like that's respect TJ, but your cuz drinks a lot if he thinks Bucks beating the Saints. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't care who it is. Like if the Saints beat the Bucks, he gonna have a Aaron Rodgers picture up and a Green Bay Packer logo up. I'm telling you, man. Like I'll tell y'all right now, follow him. Follow him on Facebook. I'm telling you, you gonna see it. That's why I just find it funny that he does that. We got some haters in the house. The Yucks got a lot of bandwagon fans. A lot. Choo choo. Thank you for creating this podcast so that I can get my Saints info. Herman, thank you, man. Shouts out to you all the way out there in Italy, man, and thank you so much for being a part. Casey, my guy, says your cousin sounds like the NFL media root for every team except the Saints. Yep. Shamika Jenkins is over for the Saints. Like I said, man, he had no shame, like none, like at all. Like it's as if it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like if he says that the Saints are gonna lose every single week, right? And when the Saints win, then you know what I'm saying, then he'll put a picture of another team. I don't know if it's just the fact that he just don't like the Saints, or the fact that he just there's no limits to his grandstanding. I don't know. Ghostface says, sorry, TJ, Pac-Man got you beat. yeah, I'm not sure about what he got me beat at, but yeah, and I'm not too sure about that. You don't go against the family. Yeah, well, that's him, man. And like I said, he jumps ship every single year. Like every single year. Every single year. Leanne says, you're a real one when you put your family on blast behind your team. Hey, I gotta call it for what it is, man. Like, be grandstanding. I love him, but he be grandstanding. Anybody tell you, man. Shouts out to my cuz Rob, man. Robert Lee, man. Shouts out to him. Him and Robert, you know what I'm saying, was going at it or whatever. Him and Rob was like, man, look, dude, that ain't a good look. And he's still at it. We tried to warn him, man. We tried to tell him how bad it looked. You know what I'm saying? We tried to let him know, but it don't seem like he cares. There's no limit. There's no limit to the trolling that he do. Tyre says if the Rams beat the Packers, they're going to make us move on. Yeah, man, if the Rams beat the Packers, that'll be huge. NFC Championship game, if the Saints win, we'll be in the Superdome. And if I'm not mistaken, if the Bucks were to beat the Saints and the Rams were to beat the Packers in the NFC Championship game, would be in Tampa, if I'm not mistaken. So, but we don't want that scenario. TJ, is T-Rex playing? Well, he's been practicing, light practice, and just by him being at practice, just telling me that he gonna play. Man, I appreciate the wrestling podcast as well. That Eddie Guerrero show brought back plenty of memories. Damien, yeah, thank you, man. Y'all check it out, the TJ Knows Wrestling Podcast. I have fun doing that. Any podcast I do, man, now is because I'm passionate about it. You're not going to see me get behind the mic and talk about something I don't care about. I love wrestling. I've been a wrestling fan my entire life. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. Everybody has like those hot take shows where they critique Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, AEW. You know, there are going to be times where I'll probably just do like a little show or something like that on a certain topic or something like that that's going on in today's wrestling world. But for the most part, I'm going to be focusing on certain wrestlers. I'm going to pick a wrestler each week, and I'm going to talk about them. Like on the episode that was released today, I talked about Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is the most recent episode I've done. I've done 3 episodes. So if you're a wrestling fan, check it out. TJ Knows Wrestling Podcast. It's available right now. Kurt Angle, episode number 3 is out right now as we speak. Your cousin sounds like many Saints haters I know. And I think that's what he is. And the thing about it is he's born in New Orleans and lived most of his life in Baton Rouge. And yet, I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand how he's not a Saints fan. I really don't know. You know, but like I said, he always seems to attach himself to some winners. You know, anybody that's winning, he on board. Bucks fans backtrack faster than Michael Jackson did the moonwalk. Yep. A lot of media people do that too. A lot of media people do that. But the Saints have more haters within Louisiana than everywhere else combined outside of Atlanta, it's said. That's what I don't understand. Like, a lot of the Saints fans that be haters be from Louisiana. But a lot of them like be older cats, you know, like the ones that was grandstanding back in the 90s when the Cowboys and the 49ers were winning. You know, but you see a lot of younger generation of fans, they be Saints fans. I don't know. I've been a Saints fan my whole life. There were times where I actually liked players on other teams, which I still do to this day. But I ain't never liked no other team more than I like the Saints, ever. I don't care how bad the Saints was. Even when I was laughing at some of the crazy stuff they were doing, I still was a fan. Tahir Jones, thank you very much for the $4.99, says, TJ, that's why Rams versus Packers is the first game. Then add more pressure on us to beat Brady, which means more people glued to the TV screen. That's a good point. But shouts out to them, Tahir, you know, because, you know, if by them creating these type of intriguing storylines, I mean, it makes people, like you said, want to gravitate to football. Josh says, you're going to skip right over my super chat like that. What super chat? What super chat are we talking about here? I thought I got it. Oh, no, okay. Josh says, realistically, prediction, Saints 113, Bucks 6. Drew will have the first ever 10 touchdown game, and Latavius will get us the first ever 10 rushing touchdown game. Well, I tell you what, Madden is on the, you know, I guess he playing Madden on rookie once again. Josh, I don't think I skipped it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I was going to skip it. I'm strolling down and up. So, you know, I'm pretty sure I was going to get back to it. And I got them like lined up. So I wasn't going to skip it, man. But thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much for the donation. I don't see the Saints winning 113. You know, I don't see that happening at all. But I think that the Saints are going to get the win. Let's see. They do have people that's born and bred in New Orleans and hate the Saints. Yeah, that's true. Who knows, says TJ, skipping people's comments. That's crazy. Yeah, you know, every now and then the screen might go a little fast. I might talk about a different topic. I might talk about a different topic and stroll down. So there's sometimes where I miss people's comments. It's nothing personal. I want people to think that it's personal because it's not. So just want to let that be known. AK the best back in the league. Just imagine if he took all the snaps like Derrick Henry. I don't want to see that. We need AK. I think eventually, Derrick Henry going to kind of slow down because of all that wear and tear. The Bucs are going to be hard. Not going to lie. Good luck to your Saints as a Panthers fan. Kevin, I appreciate that. Should be an interesting game, no doubt about that. That just sounds right to me, buddy. Guess he talked about the score. Lavelle says, like Master Splinter, Lil Wayne, he be hating on the Saints. Oh, yeah. I mean, but he have his reasons, and I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I can completely understand why he's not a Saints fan. And he said it. He said at that time the Saints were terrible, and people weren't rooting for the Saints, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he felt like it wasn't, it would make him seem fake now that he jumps on the Saints bandwagon. So, I mean, if you loyal to your Green Bay Packers, then so be it. I like them glasses, TJ Tyra. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me see. The Truth Hurt says, Josh and Jesus, that would be great. Yeah, it would be great. Make me sleep better at night. I will be rooting for your Saints, but the Bucs are good. Yeah, the Bucs are a good football team, but I just think the Saints are better. Shanzy Johnson says the Saints is just better than others, even Tampa. Yeah, if they play their game. Josh, thank you very much for $2. Say you right. It will probably be like 91-6. Boy, if it's that, boy, ooh, can you imagine the Monday morning quarterback after that? They couldn't do damage control for that. They always making excuses for Brady if, when he lose. Oh, I can tell you what the storyline gonna be if the Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is what they're gonna come out here and say. Nobody expected for a lowly Tampa Bay to get this far. I mean, their first time they went to the playoffs since 2007. Tom Brady showed the world that he is a great quarterback, taking a franchise that is one of the worst franchise overall record in the history of the National Football League. He brought them to the playoffs. So hats off to Tom Brady. He still shows that he's the GOAT, despite the fact that the Saints beat them. Like, that's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to do. They're going to dress it up real nice for you. Keep in mind I said that. So if that comes up, you know what I'm saying, if the Saints end up moving on, watch how they try to spin this. They're great at what they do. My mother's side of the family is all Saints. All lived in New Orleans and Shreveport. And my father's side is all Buccaneers. I was born in Tampa, so I am a Buccaneer. But damn, it makes life hard. I can imagine. That's tough right there. That's tough right there. Woo. House divided. House divided. Will Trey Hendrickson play? I'm pretty sure he will. TJ, I got the Saints 28-17. Good score. Good score. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, he's a Packers fan. Yeah, Lil Wayne a Packers fan. He's been a Packer fan since the 90s, so I'll let him slide with that. TJ, when 8, you going to do a subject on the Nation of Domination? I might, I might do a topic on the Nation. I'm taking requests too, I'm not sure who I'm going to do episode 4 about, but whoever it is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be interesting. And I say this because, you might have some people that used to watch wrestling, don't watch it no more. So a lot of the people that I'm picking, I'm pretty sure they're going to be around the time of the Attitude Era. So it's people that you're going to be familiar with versus like some of the newer people, which I'm going to do in the future, but I'm not going to do them right now. I'm trying to focus on some of these guys that I grew up loving. Who do you think is more important to cover? We know Lattimore is on Evans, but between AB and Godwin. AB right now, because he's starting to catch on. Godwin, I'd probably put C.J. Gardner-Johnson on him and probably get like somebody like Marcus Williams to, to help him out on that. But I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson, P.J. Williams, they should be okay with Chris Godwin. I really don't understand why people think you skip their comments. If I do, it's never intentional. I can't believe it either. At this stage and how many episodes we've done of this, like, never personal. Never personal on my end. I don't, and honestly, I don't even really be looking at the comments for me to be like, oh, okay, let me do this. Like, nah, like usually it's I scroll down and then I start clicking alongside. But once the feed like gets enough people, it starts strolling back up, and the next thing you know, I done miss people. So, but it's never personal. Never personal at all. He also said Alex Wright in the Disco Inferno. Ah, man. Disco Inferno, man. Alex Wright, the Wonder Kid. Yeah, man. Alex Wright, Disco Inferno. Man, they were key players on the show called WCW Saturday Night back in the day. I ain't going to get into it here on the Saints channel, but yeah, I know both of those guys really well. Yeah, just like last time, we beat the Bucs and the media was making excuses as to why the Bucs lost instead of saying the Saints are just better. They'll never admit that. No, they ain't gonna admit it. Even right now, it's like what the Bucs got to do to beat the Saints, not so much what the Saints got to do to beat the Bucs. And if they talk about the Saints, it's always to elevate or try to use them as a transitional topic, right? It's almost like when people like LeBron James talked to the media about what happened at the Capitol. It was very little about LeBron James. He was just basically the topic, to lead them to talk about what happened to the Capitol. So they just used it he used him as a stepping stone to talk about something that they wanted to talk about. And that's kind of like what they do with the Saints. So if Drew Brees is the topic, they'll use Drew Brees to talk about some other quarterback. It's never like, we gonna stay on topic talking about the Saints. They'll never do that. It's always to try to transition and talk about somebody else. Keen Arthur says, TJ, I heard T-Rex was limited in practice. He deserves his Skrilla. I would take him over Davenport at this point. Your thoughts? He deserves Skrilla, but not too much Skrilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act as if this dude was out here doing this for years, okay? I think that he deserves a very respectable contract, which me personally, I think he probably gonna end up going to the Jaguars because the Jaguars got Urban Meyer and they got a whole bunch of money, over $100 million. So I can see them throwing the money at Trey Hendrickson. He can go back to Florida where he played college football, Florida Atlantic, and I think the Saints gonna move on. Look, I like Trey Hendrickson a lot, but I don't think the Saints are going to back up the Brinks truck when you got somebody like Ryan Ramczyk, Marshawn Lattimore, even Marcus Williams, the way he's playing right now, for Trey Hendrickson. I just don't see that. I think he's going to get some money. I think the Saints going to have a contract for him, and I think the Saints going to get outbidded. And I just think that he's going to end up going somewhere else. That's just my honest and humble opinion, especially if he win a Super Bowl. If he wins the Super Bowl, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it like that, but you play the game to win a Super Bowl, right? If you win a Super Bowl, then I think you can go out here and become an NFL mercenary. You can go out there and try to get the biggest and highest contract. It won't bother you that you play for the Detroit Lions at that point. If you won 1 or 2 Super Bowls and the Detroit Lions wanted to make you one of the highest paid players at your position, man, I'll be out there. I'll be a Lion through and through, okay? Because at the end of your career, people still going to be looking at you, oh, he won a championship. You know what I'm saying? You still can, look at me. I won a Super Bowl. At that particular point, it's about business. It's business now, but it's rather at the beginning or at the end of your career. Like, at the beginning, if you end up winning a Super Bowl, it's probably the most beneficial thing to ever happen to you because you can create your own history. You can be like one of the best, and you have a Super Bowl under your belt. Or, you know what I'm saying, at the end of your career, when you play for a team that hasn't won a Super Bowl, you try to go find a team that's actually in Super Bowl contention. So when your name is being brought up, possibly the Hall of Fame or the all-time greats, you can be mentioned because, people give you that little extra when you are a Super Bowl champion. So If he wins, if the Saints go to the Super Bowl and wins, I can see Trey Hendrickson leaving, going to the highest contract. Depends on whoever decides to give him money. I would. I'm just being serious. If I'm a Super Bowl champion, I won a Super Bowl already. Somebody offering me a whole bunch of money, you know what I'm saying? Like they got a decent quarterback, or they trying to turn around their franchise. Why the heck not? Help turn around a franchise and at the same time make a whole bunch of money in the process? Why not? Mickey Mouse, thank you very much for the $5. Says Mighty Mouse, excuse me. Mighty Mouse, thank you very much for the $5. Says maybe a Saints player took your cousin's high school sweetheart. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened to him, but I just know that man be on that nonsense. We that Who That Nation, thank you very much for the $10. Says, how come the sports media always talking down on the Saints like we're just hot garbage? I don't know any NFL team this year that could have went on a win streak without most of their key players. I 100% agree with you. And when they talk about the Saints, they don't even mention that, which is the sad part. They do not mention that. But thank you very much for the $10. Hate to put you on the spot, but who's your Super Bowl pick, TJ? Honestly, who my Super Bowl pick? The Saints. Okay, and if we're talking about another team, look, I'm gonna be controversial. I'm gonna say the Saints and the Browns. That's what I'm gonna say gonna be in the Super Bowl. Saints and the Browns, because I feel like the Browns gonna beat the Chiefs this weekend. Just call me crazy, and I'm gonna stand by that. I'm gonna just give you a hot take. I feel like the Browns can beat. I feel like what the Browns do best can be very damaging to the Chiefs. So I'm gonna go with the Browns. That'll be my shocker, because number one, I can't stand Nick Wright, and just to know that the Browns beat his team in the playoffs, oh man, it would do my heart some good, some glad, as the older folk would say. I just can't. I cannot. Oh my goodness, that guy's like one of the most annoying people on television to me. And like what bothers me is he knows he's annoying. And he tries to be annoying. Like, it'll be one thing. Like, how people are annoying and they don't know it. But it's like with him, he knows he's annoying. He, like, knows that he's a jerk. And he be trying to be a jerk. And, I don't know. That would really make my weekend if the Browns could beat the Chiefs. Not so much that I don't like the Chiefs, because, I ain't got nothing against the Chiefs. They're a good football team. But if the Browns could beat the Chiefs, come on, Baker. Come on, Baker. You got to do it for your boys. So I'm going to say Saints and the Browns. God help me. I love this podcast. I appreciate that, Jerry. Thank you so much, man. Saints will choke again. Well, at least they're in the playoffs. At least, they're going into the divisional round. And that don't hurt no Saints fan, I'm pretty sure. So, and I'm pretty sure it's probably a team. It's probably a fan of a team that's probably not in the playoffs. And on top of that, you're not even brave enough to put a face on your profile. So you definitely being flagrant right now. That don't even hurt anybody. Like, man, this is a whole different year. What they did in the past is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Kareem healthy and Chubb, that is probably the best 1-2 running back combo in the NFL. Yeah, I think people be sleeping on Kareem Hunt. He would have still been with the Chiefs if all that stuff didn't go down. And he was looked at just as he was looked at as the same type of running back that Alvin Kamara is. So I'm gonna read a few more, then we're gonna get up out of here. Nick irritates me, especially how bad he talks about Taysom. Yeah, man, like I said, I just think that he just does that. That's just a character that he plays on television, which makes him even more annoying. Like, he knows it's like that, since we talking about wrestling, it's almost like that bad guy who wants you to boo him every time he comes out. So he says and does things that are dastardly just for you to be like, I can't stand that guy. That's who he is. And, that's something that I don't like. I pray that Mrs. Benson will get good coaching staff and a good scout if needed. That's that's important. That's important for the future of this team. Or we are going to be taking steps back. Miles says, I feel like the Rams are a bad matchup for the Saints. Yeah, definitely with Aaron Donald in the interior. Yeah, that would be a tough matchup for the Saints. But it also can be a good matchup for the Saints because it would make Sean Payton do something that he hates to do for some apparent reason, and that is run the football. You're right, I love Mahomes, but I can't stand Nick Wright. Yeah, just for the simple fact that Nick Wright is a fan of the Chiefs, just, like if he wasn't, then I'd probably be like, man, okay, Patrick Mahomes. Like, I like him a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can't hate on Patrick. I understand you want the Saints to beat the Chiefs and stuff like that. I get it, but come on, man. You got to root for that kid. Like that is some special quarterback play right there. No doubt about it. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Be sure you check out the State of the Saints podcast tomorrow as we're going to do our prediction show. Who is going to win a game? The New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers divisional round of the playoffs. It is put up or shut up time. And I want to say to everybody that has not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Thank you all so much. Make sure that you check out the TJ Knows Wrestling podcast. New episode up right now. Just launched that one today. Actually, I did that episode right before I went live here on the State of the Saints podcast, focusing on Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. And also follow me on social media, on Twitter, at State of Saints. That's at State of Saints. On Instagram at TJ_Jones_. That's TJAY_. And before I go, I see Keen Arthur just gave a $5 donation. Thank you, man. Says TJ, I say we run the ball right at them. Just because you know it's coming doesn't mean you can stop it. TJ, we still need to play to safety high. I agree with that. I think they need to put more emphasis on the run. I think that was one of the main reasons why they were able to kind of pull away from the Chicago Bears last week. Throwing the ball 23 times in the first half with Drew Brees, that wasn't a good look, okay? That just wasn't good, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Run the football, make sure that you have a balanced attack, and make sure that you try to get home and get pressure on Tom Brady, get him off his spot. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. And like always, all I got to say is, who dat?